Hello, my name is Seif. I'm an 11th grader and I'm in Suko.
And my name is Josh, and I'm in 12th grade, and I'm also in student council. Today we're going to be reading the book Franklin Helps Out.
Franklin could count by twos and tie his shoes. He liked to help Mr. Owl in the classroom, and he always lent a hand to friends and neighbors. But one day, Franklin was a little too helpful.
Franklin's class was going on a nature hike. Mr. Owl asked everyone to bring back something for the school nature display. He reminded the students to leave living things in the woods where they belonged. Then he pointed out where Franklin and his friends might find some interesting nature objects.
Franklin could hardly wait to collect something special. "Let's go this way," he said to Snail. But Snail didn't hear because he was too busy looking at fungus. Then, without asking, Franklin scooped up Snail. "I'll give you a ride," said Franklin. Snail was startled. He hadn't finished exploring yet.
Minutes later, Franklin spotted some milkweed. He put Snail down and blew on the pods. The seeds floated in the breeze. "That looks like fun," thought Snail. He found a whole pot of seeds for himself, but when he huffed and puffed, nothing budged. So Snail searched until he found a pod with one small seed. He was about to blow on it when Franklin picked him up. "We're on our way," said Franklin. "I'll give you a hand, Snail." Snail sighed. He had wanted to blow on a seed too.
There were lots of wonderful things to collect in the woods. Beaver stuffed her backpack with pine cones, leaves, and rocks. "How many things do you have?" she asked Snail. "None so far," answered Snail. "I'm waiting to find something really special."
After lunch, Bear discovered a wasp's nest. "Wasps sting if you bother them," warned Beaver, but Bear insisted the nest was empty. Franklin set Snail near a log and took a closer look. Then he heard a buzzing sound. "Oh no," he cried. A cloud of angry wasps flew out. "Run," shouted Fox. Franklin and his friends ran screaming down the path.
"That was close," panted Beaver. "That's the fastest I've ever run," said Goose. "Me too," said Franklin. "How about you, Snail?" But Snail wasn't there to answer.
Franklin suddenly remembered that he'd left the snail behind. "Maybe the wasps stung Snail," cried Franklin. "I should have taken him with me." Franklin and his friends raced back to the nest. There was no sign of the wasps and no sign of Snail. "Snail," called Franklin. "Snail, where are you?"
Snail had no idea that his friends were worried about him. He was busy exploring a network of termite tunnels. Snail was puzzled when he heard Franklin's frantic calls. "Here I am," said Snail as he crawled out of the log. Franklin rushed toward him. "Are you all right?" "Of course," giggled Snail.
Everyone was relieved to see that Snail was safe. Snail didn't understand all the fuss. "I'm fine," he said, "but I need to collect something." "I'll help you," said Franklin, stooping to pick up his little friend. "I can do it by myself," said Snail, but Franklin insisted. Snail's head drooped, and he let out a big sigh.
Franklin made sure he helped Snail all afternoon. When Franklin found seeds, he put them into Snail's bag. When he found beautiful pebbles, he kept one for himself and gave the other to Snail. He even picked a leaf for Snail, although Snail could have done it by himself. Franklin collected so many things that Snail could barely move.
When it was almost time to go back to school, Snail still hadn't collected anything that he wanted. Franklin offered to find something else. Snail was annoyed. "I want to find my own special things," he said firmly. Then he set off alone.
Franklin was hurt and puzzled. "I just wanted to help," he told his friends. Snail is small and he doesn't move very fast, but he's good at doing things for himself, said Beaver, in his own way. Rabbit pointed to the cliff. Snail was climbing straight up the side. I told you, said Beaver. Wow, said Franklin. It looks like Snail doesn't always need my help.
Soon, Snail slid down the cliff and showed his friends a sparkling quartz crystal. Everyone oohed and awed. That's the best find yet, said Franklin. Snail smiled proudly. Just then, Mr. Owl's whistle blew. Better hurry back, said Beaver. Franklin started to pick up Snail, but then he stopped. Can I give you a ride, Snail? He asked. Sure, said Snail cheerfully. I like getting help when I really need it.
Franklin ran so fast that some pebbles and leaves fell out of his bag. Don't worry, said Snail. You can have one of my crystals. Thanks, said Franklin. Snail smiled. I'm glad I could help.
The end.